Before we begin, I want you to pause for a moment and be completely honest with yourself. How many times have you tried to learn English but stopped because it felt too difficult, too fast, or too confusing? How many times have you opened a book, read a few lines, and then quietly given up because your mind told you, "This is not for me"? Well, what if I told you that it was never your fault? The real problem was not your ability. The real problem was the way you were learning. In this video, everything is going to feel different. You are about to experience English in the simplest, calmest, and most natural way possible. There is no pressure, no complicated grammar rules, and no stress. Just real easy passages that gently train your brain to understand English without fear. As you listen and read, something important will begin to happen inside you. Your mind will slowly relax. Your understanding will improve step by step. Your confidence will start to grow naturally. So do not rush. Do not skip. Stay with me until the end, because this is not just practice. This is the moment your English starts becoming easy. A busy life in the city. Nadia is 29 years old and lives in a small apartment in Lahore. She works in a clothing store in a busy shopping area, and her life is always full of movement. Every morning, she wakes up at 6:30, makes tea, and prepares a simple breakfast. She usually eats bread and eggs while listening to the morning news on the radio. After that, she gets dressed and leaves home before 8. The streets are already full of people, cars, and buses, so she has to leave early if she wants to arrive on time. At the store, she helps customers choose dresses, shirts, and shoes. Some customers are kind and patient, but others change their minds many times, so her work is not always easy. She stands for many hours every day, and by evening her feet hurt badly. Still, Nadia likes meeting different people, and she enjoys helping someone find exactly what they need. She finishes work at 6, but on weekends, she stays later because the store becomes much busier. When she gets home, she is usually tired, but she still helps her mother prepare dinner. At night, she likes to sit by the window with a cup of tea and think quietly about her day. Her life is not easy, but she feels proud because she works hard and supports her family every day. A teacher in a small village. Mr. Karim is a school teacher in a small village near the mountains. He has worked there for more than 15 years, and everyone in the village knows him well. He teaches English, history, and sometimes mathematics when another teacher is absent. His school is not very large, and the classrooms are simple, but he loves his job deeply. On his way, he often meets children running along the road or farmers working in the fields. When he enters the classroom, the students stand up and greet him with smiling faces. He is strict when he teaches, but also kind and patient. He believes children learn best when they are not afraid to ask questions. Sometimes the school has difficulties. In winter, the rooms are very cold, and in summer there is often no electricity for fans. Even so, Mr. Karim never misses a day unless he is very sick. After school, he usually stays for another hour to help weaker students with reading and writing. He says teaching is not just a job, it is a way to build a better future. He does not earn much money, but he feels rich when he sees his students grow into confident young people. Late for the train. Sana had a difficult morning because everything seemed to go wrong from the moment she woke up. Her alarm clock did not ring, so she woke up much later than usual. She immediately felt nervous because she had an important meeting in another city, and missing the train would ruin her day. She got dressed quickly and did not even have time to fix her hair properly. In the kitchen, she poured tea, but it was too hot, so she left it and rushed outside without drinking it. On the way to the station, traffic was terrible. Cars moved slowly, and the taxi driver looked stressed. Sana checked her watch again and again, feeling more anxious with every minute. When she finally reached the station, she ran toward the platform. She could hear the train arriving. For a moment, she thought she was too late. But luckily, people were still boarding. She quickly got inside just before the doors closed. She sat down, took a deep breath, and smiled slightly. Her day had started badly, but at least she had made it. My grandmother's garden. My grandmother has a beautiful garden behind her house, and it is one of my favorite places in the world. It is not very large, but it feels peaceful and full of life. There are roses, flowers, vegetables, and a small lemon tree near the wall. Every morning she goes outside with a small watering can and takes care of the plants. She speaks to them gently as if they are old friends. When I was younger, I did not understand why she loved the garden so much. To me, it was just soil and plants. But as I grew older, I began to understand its beauty. The garden changes with every season. In spring, everything looks fresh. In summer, it becomes colorful and full. Even in winter, it has a quiet beauty. My grandmother says a garden teaches patience because nothing grows in one day. You must care for it and wait. Sometimes I sit with her in the evening while she removes small weeds. We do not always talk, but the silence feels warm. That garden is not just plants, it is memory, peace, and love. A nurse on the night shift, Farah, works as a nurse in a large hospital, and her schedule is very different from most people. She works at night, usually from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., while others sleep. She walks through hospital corridors, checking patients and helping doctors. At first, this routine was very difficult for her. Her body was not used to sleeping during the day and working at night. But slowly, she adapted. Some patients are in pain, some feel afraid, and some cannot sleep. Farah speaks gently to them because she knows a calm voice can help. Sometimes emergencies make the hospital very busy. On those nights, she hardly gets time to sit. Even when she is tired, she continues because people depend on her. When her shift ends, she steps outside and sees the sunrise. At that moment, she feels both exhausted and proud. Her work is difficult, but meaningful. A quiet cafe in London. There is a small cafe in London where Emma likes to spend her afternoon. It is not famous, but it feels like a second home to her. The cafe has wooden tables, soft music, and the smell of fresh coffee. Every day after work, she goes there and sits near the window. She watches people walking outside, sometimes reading her book, sometimes just thinking. The cafe owner greets her kindly every time. On rainy days, the sound of rain makes the place even more peaceful. For Emma, this cafe is not just a place to drink coffee. It is a place to relax, think, and feel calm again before returning to her busy life. A day at the airport. James arrived at Heathrow Airport early in the morning. The airport was already busy with travelers. Some checked tickets, some carried bags, and others looked at screens with worried expressions. He checked in his luggage and passed through security. After that, he relaxed slightly and bought a coffee. Sitting near the window, he watched airplanes take off and land. When his flight was announced, he stood up and joined the line. He felt a mix of nervousness and excitement because every journey brings something new. A rainy evening. It was a cold, rainy evening in London. Sarah stood at a bus stop, waiting for her bus after work. Her shoes were wet, but she did not feel unhappy. The rain felt peaceful. She watched drops fall and listened to the sound on the road. Cars passed slowly, creating small waves of water. When the bus arrived, she sat near the window and looked outside. The rainy city felt calm and quiet. Even a simple moment like this felt special. A bookshop near the river Thames. There is a small bookshop Daniel visits every weekend. The shop is quiet, with wooden shelves and the smell of books. Sometimes he reads, sometimes he just walks between shelves. The owner knows him well and often talks to him about books. For Daniel, this place is peaceful. It helps him think clearly and escape the noise of the city. A morning bus ride every morning, Olivia takes the bus to work. She sits by the window and watches the city wake up. Shops open, people walk quickly, and traffic increases. The ride is not long, but it gives her time to think and prepare for the day. It is a small, peaceful space between home and work. A weekend at the park. Michael spends weekends in a park in London. He sits near a lake, watches people, and enjoys the quiet atmosphere. The sound of birds and wind helps him feel calm. For him, this time is important because it reduces stress and brings balance. She follows a strict routine, attending lectures and spending time in the library. She works hard because she wants a better future. Even when tired, she continues step by step, building her goals slowly. A small restaurant experience. Daniel visits a small restaurant he had never entered before. The food surprises him in a good way. The atmosphere is warm and peaceful. He realizes that sometimes trying something new brings simple happiness. A day without electricity. One evening, there is a power cut. Emma lights a candle, and the room becomes calm. Without electricity, the family talks and spends time together. When power returns, she realizes how meaningful that quiet moment was. A visit to the library. Tom visits the library every week. It is quiet, peaceful, and full of books. He reads for hours and feels calm. For him, it is a place to learn and relax. A visit to the museum. Rebecca visits a museum in London. She walks slowly, looking at paintings and historical objects. Each piece tells a story from the past. She leaves feeling inspired and thoughtful. A visit to a coffee shop. Lily enters a coffee shop to escape cold weather. She drinks coffee slowly and relaxes by the window. The moment feels simple but peaceful. A visit to the beach. Daniel visits the beach outside the city. He listens to waves and watches the sea. The place gives him deep peace and helps him forget stress. A visit to a clothing store. Emma buys clothes for an event. She tries different outfits and chooses one that feels right. Small decisions like this bring quiet confidence. A visit to a train station at night. Olivia waits at a quiet train station at night. The place feels calm and slightly empty. She feels tired but peaceful. A simple day, a quiet thought. Lucas sits by the window thinking about life. Not every day is special, but small moments create meaning. He realizes that simple routines bring stability and peace. And now, you made it to the end. That itself is important. You stayed, you read, you focused, and that is how progress begins.